All right. Hello there, wellness entrepreneurs. Welcome back. Today I have on special guest, my client, Katy Cassady. She is a food and wellness coach. Hi there, Katy.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. So tell us a little bit about like what you're doing, the work you do with clients, and how you got into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right now I offer a few different programs. I offer a 4-week culinary program where I teach someone how to learn skills that they've wanted to learn in a kitchen for a long time, but haven't been able to or haven't been able to learn. So, it's just empowerment that way. And then I offer a 4 and an 8 week wellness program where I develop bunch of recipes, beverages, supplementation for somebody who's really looking to amplify their health in a very specific way, using Ayurvedic and chakra healing as a big part of that. Um, yeah, those are my three main programs.
I love it. And just so I don't forget, so tell everyone right now, like, how can they find you on Instagram and what's your website?
Yeah. So my Instagram is explore_healing_food. That's my main one. And then my website is explorehealingfoodandmovement.com.
Love it. Love it. Okay. And so, my listeners here, they love to hear kind of before and after stories. So, tell us, where were you when you first started working with me in your wellness business here?
Oh my gosh. I was I was like at my wit's end. I don't even think I told you this. I was like really close to just like saying no to my business completely and
Mm,
just going back to like being a contractor for like a food catering or like a private chef company just because like I wasn't seeing success, I wasn't getting
mm,
consistent clients, income was so low. It was like between anywhere from 500 to $1,000 a month if I got
mm,
lucky. Like,
mhm.
and I was working two, three other jobs just to make ends meet. Um,
But-
didn't know where my systems were, didn't know how to organize myself. Like I was lost. I had no idea what to do.
Well, I'm
So
so
that's where I
glad
started.
you said yes.
Yeah.
So glad because you have so much knowledge and so much expertise. Tell everyone a little bit about like your certs because you have so much like Ayurveda, like food. Tell a little bit the audience of like all that you can do with people.
Yeah. I've had a very diverse background with food and with movement, which is kind of what inspired my company. Uh, I've done private chef work, like in a few different countries. I started off as getting my bachelor's degree in food anthropology and archaeology, so very niche, very specific. I got that from the Culinary Institute of America under their Applied Food Studies program.
Oh,
And from there, I mean, I was developing standard operating procedures for big businesses to help with sustainability and help with like wellness practices, especially for the people working for big companies, because
mm,
a lot of them have like very poor self-care practices, which in turn leads to a lot of sickness, which in turn leads to like a very poor work environment. So I was dealing with a lot of that for a while. I've done agricultural work, which led me to like where I am now actually. I started an apothecary in Minnesota where I'm based, and I'll be growing mushrooms or medicinal mushrooms, various herbs and plants to like heal my clients. So that agriculture led me to like creating medicine, and then I got an Ayurvedic certification and was trained under a fantastic Ayurvedic doctor. I had the privilege of working under him for a while. Not even working, we were friends, so like I really got to see what he was doing. And then I got my yoga certification on top of that, like
so
brain
lots.
longevity specialist. So I deal with a lot of anti-inflammatory things for the brain and cardiovascular health, like a lot of different things.
Yeah, so good. And the reason why I mentioned this because there are a lot of experienced and uh, wellness entrepreneurs with a lot of certifications listening too. And a common stuck point because when you first came to me, you didn't really have a signature offer, so to speak. And so we really developed that together. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times people feel stuck with, okay, how do I make it work with all these certifications and experience? And now you do have an offer, and it has, some tiered levels or ways to really customize it depending upon the client's needs. But tell us a little bit about what your offer's like these days and how we work together to put it together.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when I first met you, I wasn't even considering like being like calling myself a coach.
Mm.
But I think like especially when you have so many certifications or like a diverse background kind of like what I have, um, like you really helped me figure out like that my niches are something like each person could utilize. Like the
Mhm.
standard operating procedures that I dealt so much with, like enacting that in people's everyday lives, like through food rituals and through movement rituals that like help their health every day and help them reach that goal.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that's really where my wellness coaching program's at right now. Like for 4 weeks or for 8 weeks, we develop standard operating procedures or like these rituals that people can place in their everyday life, and then we like track their progress. So like, how are you doing with these three recipes? How are they impacting you? Okay, let's switch to these if they're not working, or let's like amplify this so that you really start to like head up on that goal. So that's really how I was able to start to take my program like full circle and make it what it is now.
Mhm.
Just like all the offerings, taking them and putting them in a wellness program versus like 10 different services.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And so now, what's the difference in your revenue with all that and your client load?
It's so drastic. I went from like trying to get 5 clients a month who would maybe pay me $200 for one individual service to like maybe I get unlucky and I only have like 2 clients a month.
Hmm.
I'm still making like 1,800 to like almost $3,000 just from those 2 clients. I
Hmm.
think my revenue when I first met you, like I said, like between 500 and $1,000 a month to
Hmm.
now, I think I hit like 3,500 last month, which is
Yay.
a huge deal. Like,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like it was only we started working together
Just,
September, October. So it
yeah.
hasn't even been that long and like
No.
it's already a drastic increase.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
6 months, 6K months is not far for you either.
Which I'm so excited about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so tell us because you're doing a lot out in the community, but before we work together, clients weren't coming from the community quite yet. There was, like you were saying, like a trickle in and for like a one service here or there. But now, when you teach out in the community, like if it's for a culinary class or any type of class, you are getting more inquiries. So tell us, and we worked on that process together. Tell us a little bit about how you're doing that now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we discussed like putting together a sheet of paper and telling people, or so the sheet of paper has like opt in for newsletter, and then also it has an option for like schedule a consult or a free
Mhm.
consult. So I
Mhm.
think that was really the missing piece. I didn't do consults before I met you. So having that piece of paper and then like watching people sign up for my newsletter, seeing if they check in for the consult on the piece of paper, and then like after they finish up, if they did opt in for that or like choose a day, like going up to them and being like, "Hey, do you want to schedule this now? Like I have a second, like let's get you taken care of."
I love
So
that.
we can talk about it. Yeah, like that was huge, and then other people would see that and then they would get excited and also like
Mm.
opt in for the consult.
Uh-huh. Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that
and
was really big.
yeah, so you're, and I tell this to a lot of people, it's like scheduling them right there. And then they have the rest of the people have social proof like, "Oh, Katie's like doing this. Let me, I'm missing out." They get FOMO.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was great.
And so, and then you've been practicing consults, like what to say and what to do. How are you feeling on those?
I'm feeling really good. I'm finding that when people book a consult with me, like they're pretty sure that they need help with something. So
Mhm.
like just getting it right out in the open, like at the beginning of the consult, just being like, so why did you want to meet? Like, what's going on with your health? And then having them describe it. And then typically I get so excited because there's
Mhm.
usually like five different like spices or like a movement that they can do to like help them automatically. I'll just start listing all these things and then they get excited. And it's
Mhm.
like there's something natural you can do. You don't have to get surgery yet. You don't have to like take a pill. Like you can you can like use home remedies. You can use like herbal like medicine to like bring you back to health before like adding anything extra into your body.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just get
Yeah.
excited.
I love that. And your program, it's a little bit of a hybrid. Like sometimes you go to people's house and you show them how to use their kitchen essentially more efficiently, and sometimes you work with people online. How do you like doing that?
I think it's great. I think it's great to have the option, especially like with the people that do book after my in-person cooking classes or my in-person yoga workshops or movement workshops. Like they tend to maybe not be a fan of virtual, whether they've like never done it before, something like that. So I think it's really helpful for those people to kind of start their health journey. And then like I teach them typically like how to use their phone or how to like connect to Zoom or download the Zoom app.
Sure, sure.
Um, so that they're learning like an additional skill, which is great.
Yeah,
And then
huge.
it's also nice because if somebody doesn't know how to do a knife cut, if someone doesn't know like how to use a saucepan, like I can be there coaching them how to do it. So
Hmm.
that's the perks to being in person. And then like the virtual is nice because I don't have to drive an hour to somebody's house. We can do it virtually. We can set up cameras and then like we can either cook together like in the kitchen if they really need help with that and I can be doing it with them or we're just talking one on one.
Hmm.
And typically like 80% of the time it's just a conversation. So that's really nice too.
Yeah.
Takes a lot off my brain and a lot of like I can breathe. I don't have
Yeah.
to like sacrifice 2 hours of my day driving.
Yes, exactly. So your
Yeah.
schedule is more optimized. And it's good for
Yeah.
them too, because weather can be a challenge in your area. And that way they stay consistent. They don't have to reschedule if you can't drive to meet them. And so many benefits of having that hybrid flexibility. Uh,
Definitely.
and speaking of knives, and another area where you're getting inquiries, we've been working on your Instagram so you can get some more online people. And that's really exploded for you too. Your views have like totally changed. Tell us a little bit about that story.
They totally changed. Yeah, I think we talked about we've been talking about for a while like how to optimize my Instagram reels. And I really struggled with getting it under 10 seconds. And I think
Hmm.
one evening I'm like, this is a really good video of me cutting something. Or like
Hmm.
I think someone also mentioned that they didn't know how to cut an onion or something like that. So I'm like,
Hmm.
maybe I should do like a little tutorial. I can do that in like seven,
Hmm.
8 seconds. And so I cut an onion and um like optimizing the hashtags properly and having like explore or follow explore healing
Yes.
foods at the bottom
Uh-huh.
of the post,
Uh-huh.
like having everything like match, integrate the wellness into the caption. Like there's so many little things
Little
about
things.
Instagram you taught me to do. And
Uh-huh.
then I was just missing the kind of like ticket that held my audience's attention. So like as soon as we figured that out, along with all the little things you taught me how to do, I just kept that consistent, like made my grid actually look pretty and not look like somebody vomited on it. Like started getting follows, started getting views. It was
Yeah. Yeah,
amazing.
you have a reel that's got like over 20,000 views.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my monthly is over it's like at 107K now. Like
Nice. Yeah.
just
So that's like
crazy.
skyrocketed from where you were before.
It's at like 4,000 maybe.
Yeah, 4,000 to 107,000. Love that. Love that.
Very happy.
Yeah. Yeah. You're now most are over 1,000. There's a bunch that have gotten 3, 5, 10,000, 20,000. The knives
Yeah.
do seem to be popular though. We were checking that out. So if you want some cutting skills, make sure you head over there and check it out. Like she's very fancy with the knives.
I love my knives. Yes.
Yes, I love it. And tell us, like during this whole process of like clarifying your offer, um, putting that program out, getting consults, closing consults, building your Instagram, getting more followers, more views. Have there been any like mindset blocks that have kind of come up along the way that we've also worked on, or that you feel a lot of people? I don't think it's a common area because we're talking a lot about strategy, but sometimes we don't often talk about like, oh, okay, I had a little bit of doubt about this or insecurities about this and how you got through that.
I think like two big ones can like come to mind immediately. The first one is like life is really hard. Like you have a family, you might have a house. I was in the middle of a move and like my grandpa dying and like several other things like going on while we were working together. Well, I like just finished up two of those things and it's gotten incrementally better, but I mean, like how do you run a business that's successful? How do you meet with clients and like offer the services you're really passionate about while also dealing with all the life things? Like how do you make time for that in your day to day?
Hmm.
And I think you really helped me like optimize my schedule and figure out um like sometimes you're gonna have off days, sometimes like life's gonna take priority, and that's why having a schedule is so important so that like you can plan a little bit more so for it and um really just like give you a little bit of or like it gave me a little bit of peace of mind. Like
Mm-hmm.
having everything laid out in front of me that I needed to do.
Hmm.
Um and not have like a scrambled egg brain. Like while
Hmm.
I was dealing with life stuff and dealing with work stuff. Like
Hmm.
business owning.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you feel now?
So much better. Like I really I probably would have had to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it wasn't for the tools you gave me to utilize, like
Hmm.
um even the like you introduced me to Kit into Squarespace, like how to work the back system a little bit
Hmm.
more, like and the
Hmm.
support with Instagram so that I didn't have to like create a two posts every single day and like spend 3 hours like doing three posts or whatever it was.
Hmm.
Like um just like really how to optimize my time. I feel so much better. Like I can go for walks now with my dog midday
Mm.
and not feel guilty because I'm not working.
Yeah.
Um, like
I
my
think
days
that's
went from
huge.
probably like 14 hours to like 9 maybe.
Oh, I love that. And we still have room to
Huge.
grow.
Yeah, definitely.
Get them under 8. We'll get them under 8. But
Oh,
we're
so
working
excited.
on that. We were just talking about today, like working with like just making sure our clients get results and then also, you know, managing and having our own boundaries in the amount of client work that we're doing outside of calls as well. Because there is an art and a balance.
Yeah, that's been a big challenge too. Like feeling bad for not constantly being there, but also like knowing that there needs to be boundaries set in order for like you to produce quality work for them and like
Mhm.
have good communication versus scrambled communication every single day. Like
Yes.
concise and quality.
Yes, exactly, 100%. And I think all that you just listed, like the overwhelm, like overworking, long schedule, not seeing the results quite yet, like, or wanting to people please our clients, it's so common. Every practitioner hits up against these walls. And you just have to work through them step by step and having someone to help you, like Katie was so courageous to work with me, um, does help the process go quicker so that you can still keep your business and help your people.
Yeah. It's literally been night and day. I was so blocked before the program, like not knowing where to go, like so tired and like burnout was just every single day. Like the
Hmm.
fact that I'm not reaching burnout and I'm like I can go to bed at midnight and be okay. Like
Hmm.
that's like a really big deal for me. I was just telling family like I
Mm.
was getting to bed before midnight now and they like couldn't believe it. They were all so
Oh,
excited.
oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so
Yeah.
glad. Yeah, so you're implementing your own like now more wellness rituals and practices and that'll like just keep shining through. Like clients will see that from you and see your shifts and be like, wow, look at Katie, how she's showing up to culinary class, you know? And they
Yeah.
will love that, and that'll be an inspiration to them as well. Already, like more than you are now, because you're already doing that. They're already inspired by you, and obviously, Instagram's inspired by you and your knife skills, your culinary skills. The food that always looks so good. What would you tell a wellness entrepreneur that is in a similar place, like to how you were when you first started with me?
Like definitely number one, if you're feeling overwhelmed and it's been overwhelmed for a month or two, like it's okay to get some help. Like
Mhm.
you're allowed to get help. That's the first big thing. That's probably what saved me. And then the next thing is if you need to take a step back and focus on your systems, don't like rush into every single opportunity. I really regret doing that, like rushing into all of these different services and like splitting my brain 10 ways.
Mm-hmm.
Um, instead of being more calculated and like really accepting things that I genuinely wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, there's no reason to like overwhelm yourself like that. Create a solid foundation and build. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and get help. It's okay. It's okay to ask for help. I've always struggled with
100%.
that, but
Yeah. A lot of
yeah.
us do. I love that. Well, thank you
Mm.
so much for your wisdom today. Is there anything else you want to share with entrepreneurs that are struggling or want to grow their Instagram and get the views that you have or, double their revenue like you have? What would you say to them?
Keep showing up for your clients and keep caring and really just try to then like balance the virtual with the real life stuff because like Instagram can take over and so can real life stuff. So creating like those solid times and staying consistent with both so that you
Mm-hmm.
don't fall behind on one or the other. That way like the two halves of your business are balanced and you're going to be okay. Like even if stuff doesn't turn out the way you want it to immediately, like over time you'll be rewarded for your consistency. That's the main thing.
Mhm. Yeah, huge. That's gold right there. It is.
Yeah.
There's a compound effect, like sometimes on Instagram, the reel that you had like several weeks ago, for whatever reason, takes off later, and then that boosts other reels. You just don't know. So there definitely is a compound effect to the work, and people will see that too. Like they'll see a post, maybe an email, and you're showing up to a class, and then they're like, oh. Like that combined effect builds trust, that shows your expertise, how you're different. And so then that gives them the courage to finally be like, "Oh, I think I need to work with you."
Absolutely. Like having Instagram to reference to or my website to reference to when people are interested and like being proud of those products
Mm-hmm.
is like crazy important. Like I feel so much better going to people and sharing those pieces of content with them now and being like I know exactly who I am and what I'm offering you versus I have no idea what I'm offering you, but here's two things you can look at.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I saw the confidence too. Because you
Yeah.
do have so much to offer.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You deserve it because you've worked really hard.
I'm gonna keep working hard. We're gonna get to that 6K. I'm so so determined.
Yeah. And working less hours still.
And working less hours. Oh my gosh,
So you
heaven.
can go pick some more apples in your orchard and show us all the how to use the rotten apples. That was another popular one.
That was popular. I almost forgot about that one. That one was great.
Yeah. Yeah, you come up with some really good creative content. I love it. Cool. Well,
Thank you.
anything else you want to share with everyone today?
I don't think so. I think, yeah, this was great. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, tell them again where to find you, your website and your Instagram.
Yeah, my website is explorehealingfoodandmovement.com. And then my Instagram is explore underscore healing underscore food.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your wisdom.
Yeah, thank you.